Well, I have to. Hey, everybody, what's going on? I hope you guys can hear me. Yes, you can. I see it there. Sorry, we are late. I know my wife just. Sometimes I forget about Facebook, but that's because Facebook is kind of a last thing. I don't be paying attention to it too much. But what's going on, everybody? Welcome to a fresh episode of 100% TJ's 100% Real Talk. Hello to those who are on Facebook, who's watching on Facebook. If you are not subscribed to the channel on YouTube, please go to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. And I would actually like for everyone who is watching on Facebook to go to YouTube and actually watch it from there, because eventually what I'm going to end up doing is I'm only going to be doing it from YouTube and my podcast Anchor. Eventually, that's going to be pretty soon. So pretty soon I'm going to stop going live from Facebook. And if you want to check me out, you got to go to the YouTube channel. I'll still do content on the page. I'll still do content on the page. The page is going to be TJ's 100% Real Talk. You'll be able to find links on that page in the near future. But as far as lives on Facebook, I would say probably maybe after I have my surgery, I'm going to be changing things. Hello. I'm going to be changing up things a little bit. But so once again, to those who are on Facebook, if you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel and you want to continue to watch, please go to the YouTube channel and subscribe, because again, the Facebook lives I'm gonna stop those coming July, because I want to get all my content and I want to get all my channel flow through one channel. I want to get it through YouTube and I want to get it through anchor.com. Actually, you can also see it on your TV from YouTube as well. If you have a TV that have apps, YouTube has an app for TVs who have app. All you have to do is, if you have a Google account, you're good to go. All you gotta do is just put it in, and you can watch us live on the TV. I just have to with going live in one place, it helps traffic flow. And if I can, and since I'm doing a podcast, that way I'll be able to have all my traffic on YouTube, and my subscribers can grow. They can click like on there, and then my channel will be able to grow, which also finances and all those things will be able to grow with the channel. So I have to right now, we're just using Facebook to try to bring people in to the podcast. And also I am live on, well, not live, but I do recordings on anchor.com, and it's anchor.com. And also through Anchor, I go through to Spotify, and soon and eventually I'll be on Apple Podcasts. Eventually I have to get that set up, and I have to get an Apple account set up. But I'm just making sure everybody know who's watching on Facebook. When July hits, that's when the lives are going to stop. Again, if you want to stay updated, the only Facebook content that will be on TJ's 100% Real Talk. Is going to be on the page, so you'll be able to go to the page and click on links, which those links will direct you to the YouTube channel, or it'll direct you to anchor.com. So eventually, so I'm going to be setting all that up after I have my surgery, and I just want to inform everybody so that way, do tune in on Facebook Live, know where I'm going to be at. So I had promised someone. Well, before I get into that, I want my wife to say hello. I didn't give her a chance to talk.
Yo, what's up?
So
y'all, I'm over here doing technical stuff for whatever reason. Everything of my stuff is acting funny right now.
That you know what, that happens.
And I think it's just hating on me. Facebook didn't want to act right on the phone. And now my computer just shut off for whatever reason. So yeah, I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. But and the blessing is like I was saying, like I told my wife, I told her that Facebook is not even, that's not my intention. Facebook is not the place where I wanted to be. It was only on anchor.com and YouTube. That's where I was pushing and everything. And I mean, I know Facebook is great and everything as far as getting people's attention. Yeah, I put all the links in there. You can link it and click it. But eventually, this is something that I love to do, and this is a blessing that God has given me. And eventually, like I say, not eventually, but right now, I'm looking to do things and upgrade and get more things so it can be more. We can have better picture, camera, equipment. Because we using the equipment that we got now, but we still need more equipment. So we thank God for what we have. But hey, we got to get blessed. You know what I'm saying? So got to push through. So I see Miss Johnson is on here, and she asked a question, and I'm gonna keep my promise. She tuned in, so thank you for tuning in. But she said she asked me a question and she asked me a question on Facebook saying about the garden that we had. And so the garden, hey, what's going on, Life Journey? The garden that we have, tomatoes, we're growing tomatoes, lettuce. We have two different types of lettuce, actually. We have jalapenos growing. I have 3 avocado trees, and I just planted some sunflower seeds. I just planted some cabbage, and I just planted some. It was something else I planted. I can't think of it right now. Wow! But we had planted some. We do have. We planted some strawberries, but that one we had in the front. It was in too much shade, so we had to put it in the back. And it's gonna grow. It's gonna come back. It's growing back. Uh, it's something else we had. I can't remember what else we had. Trying to remember, y'all. Trying to remember. It was something else we had. What else we got back there? Oh, watermelon. Yes, we have watermelon growing back there, and we have what okra. Okra is going back there. So eventually, I'm gonna build after my surgery. I have a raised bed, a metal raised bed. I'm gonna build that, and I'm in that. I want to put in. I need to come with a basket. Uh, Eventually, I'm gonna do a what do you call that? Uh, um, Eventually, I'm going to do not tomatoes, potatoes. Eventually, I'm going to do potatoes, carrots, and I want to do corn as well. She said, "Call me hopefully." Yeah, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and you have to, because you gotta have the right type of plants next to the right type of plants. Oh, we have onions too. The onions are good too. We cooked with some of it already. Most of it was nice. I had broccoli, but unfortunately, a butterfly had got a hold of it, and those caterpillars tore that broccoli up. We had to end up pulling up the broccoli and throwing it away because they just destroyed it. But it's like, and they'll tell you in the package to plant things next to certain things because it'll keep certain bugs or certain caterpillars away. And when I tell you it's a lot of work, but it can be done. But it is work. So hopefully, like I say, when after surgery, I'll get a raised bed, and that raised bed gonna come through, and we'll get some potatoes and some carrots, and I want to get some. I want to actually grow some. It's something else I want to grow in there. I say carrots, potatoes, and it's something else. I know I want to do. I know I want fruit too. I want to grow grapes, so I want to have a full garden eventually. But I got to work on it and make sure it's legit. So we're gonna do that. I know for sure the watermelon is a lot of work. I love cucumbers from the garden. Yeah, we actually have some cucumbers. Um, we have some cucumbers, some seeds, but we haven't planted them yet. So uh, everybody might want to start your own garden. Yes, ma'am. And that is true. You might want to. because with the way food prices are, it's really getting up there. It's really getting high. So it's better. It's a lot of work, though. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of work. You got to plant at the right time and make sure you get a good enough harvest, because you know how the seasons are here in Houston. At one point it'll be warm, and then in the fall it might be warm, but then it might be ice cold. It might kill all your crop. So you just got to make sure that you plant at the right time and in the right season, and make sure you have the right covering on what you have. But that's what I had in my garden. So, Miss Johnson, that was just for you. And I just want to, like I say, and just encourage people to do what you have to do, and if they can do it back then, we can do it now. They did it biblically in the Bible to where, hey, we had to grow our own food and had our own sheep and cattle. Well, hey, we got to do the same thing. Unfortunately, I'm just not up to the gutting pigs and stuff. Yeah, I got to get used to all the blood, and I'm not used to that. But if I was, I mean, we'll be having food every day. I'll be out there hunting and killing deers. Yes. But anyway, yeah, she making that mad face now. But wow, and Facebook just turned off. That's crazy. So hopefully I can you want me to you want me to just well, my wife is going to work on that on the Facebook part, but all those who are on YouTube, hello, thank you all. And just a reminder, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Please click like and share. The Also, and Facebook is tripping today, so my wife is kind of working on that, and I know it's irritating her, but we are all working on it to get it going. Uh, However, Umbrella says I have bell pepper, watermelons, onion, tomatoes. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, if you keep flower, yeah, take the yellow flowers and pollinate them. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. And that's what I want. That's what I really want. I mean, I know bees is bad for the kids, but if I had some bees to kind of help her brother. Um, but hello everybody. Hello everybody once again. And so while I have everybody here, we always like to let everybody know about the that I'm searching for a kidney and whatnot. And so, of course, we have two other hospitals that I'm putting my name on the list for, and that will be um, St. Luke, and I think the other one is somewhere in Galveston. So you guys, please keep me lifted up in your prayers on that as well. And if you know someone that would like to donate a kidney or to help out or whatnot, let us know. And also they can also fill out. Right now, I'm only at Methodist right now, but I'm about to be on two other lists. So if you know anyone that would like to donate a kidney or anyone that would like to look into it, they can go to Methodist
Houston Methodist.org.
HoustonMethodist.org. And I believe St. Luke's is different, but I'll let you know when I get that information. But I know for right now at Houston Methodist, I'm there. Right now, they're pretty much behind. But we're pushing through, and we're pushing through this. My surgery as far as got pushed back to June 9th. So I'm gonna be doing a podcast this week and next week. Okay, don't forget to share this on TikTok. Yes, ma'am. And I'll make sure that I forgot what I was going. So I had made sure that I was going to do an episode to give you guys an episode before I go out on June 9th. So of course, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a purpose, and I believe it's having for a purpose. You told everybody on Facebook.
Yes, that's what I just did.
Okay, and so once again, hello everyone, and so today we wanted to get into an episode. And guys, forgive us for being late. We was late today because we was out there in the streets. We was out there in the streets, man. So
not because the streets was it was kind of cold, but in a good way cold. Somewhat of a good way cold. That was calling, but it wasn't a bad call. It was a call that was okay to answer.
Right. So okay, so today I believe I got all that. Oh man, I didn't give you a chance to introduce any. Do you want to introduce any other final touch jewels or anything like that? You already know I like to support everybody's business here on the show. Did you have anything that you want to say real quick or anything like that with Father's Day coming up?
Well, since you put it out there, yes, if you are looking for any Father's Day gifts or you have multiple people you would like to get any Father's Day gifts for that are inexpensive, won't break your pocket, then you are always more than welcome to shop Final Touch Jewels on our Facebook Lives, Wall Drops, or you can go online to www.paparazziaccessories.com/474501. So it could take you straight to my page, or you can search me either one. Otherwise, I got some stuff on hand, y'all. I got some stuff on hand.
She
I
got
got
some
some stuff
stuff
on
on
hand.
hand.
No. So there is plenty on that I have on hand for the fellas. So you guys are more than welcome to check those out. I actually did do, I think the two or three, maybe 3 lives ago, maybe 2 lives ago. Two of my previous lives, I did nothing but the urban wear category for the jewels for the fellas. So y'all are more than welcome to check that out. But let's kick it off.
Let's
Let's get
kick
it
it off.
going.
Let's get it going, man. So today we want to talk. I want to talk about because I know we've been talking about a lot of things and we've been reaching out to about you know we've been reaching out to people about relationships and everything. But today, I wanted to hit something a little bit different because of what's going on in the world today. Today I want to hit up on the gun violence that's going on, and I'm not just talking about with the school, but even in the streets too. But I want to start off with the schools though, because I know most of us on here, everybody on here are parents, and we all have kids that go to elementary schools, and even it's even gun violence in the church right now. With guys going up in churches and shooting them up, and we know that we understand that those of us who are you know those of us who are saved, and we understand that it's a spiritual warfare, that we know that the devil is busy. But today I wanted to hit up on that gun violence because I know it's a lot of things that go in and do it. But the first one I want to hit up on is for us as parents. So how do we feel in this day and time? How do we feel with our kids? Going to elementary school, knowing that some clown that don't even go to the school, can get in and shoot up a school. You know, um, I believe that it's sad that that we have to have someone to guard the area like it's a jail to make sure that people won't get in and do things like that. I had a lady that was on TikTok, and she said that she puts a bulletproof vest in her kid's backpack, and she tells him to she puts it in his backpack to where when he's walking around the school or whatever, and she says she do it just in case, you know. And it's sad that us as parents that we have to think like that, or that we have to do things that way, because of people that want to get their hands on guns, and then us in the world we want to say, well, the person who shut up the school, well, he's just mentally ill. No, he wasn't. He knew exactly what he was doing, and because these people know exactly what they're doing, um, they fear what's going to happen to them, so they try to take themselves out because they would rather kill themselves than to face the consequences of what they just did. And it's sad that especially the school here in Texas, again, because this ain't the first one, but the it's sad that you know these kids have to go through that. Just to think that, you know, if a kid going to school, I can only imagine if I'm going to Ridgegate, and when I went to Ridgegate or whatever, something happened like that, I would be terrified to even go back to school, especially if I see my friend get shot. You know, uh, and I just believe that, if these schools are going to have, or not the schools, but if the state is going to have these type of gun laws and this type of freedom on guns, then you're going to have to do something to 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 um to protect the kids. To do something to protect the schools. Something has to change because this got to stop, man. And it's a trend. The problem is it's a trend, and the thing is, we know it's a spirit, but I'm just gonna be real. It's a spirit, okay? And even Paul said it, that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, you know, but it's a spirit, because it does the same thing. It's the same thing, like the guy that hit up the store. Of course, he was talking about he wanted to kill only black people, but he killed about what, 10? About 10, I think it was about 10 black. I think about 10 black people up in Buffalo.
10 or 12.
I think it was one
Maybe
of those
10.
two numbers, and up in Buffalo, New York. And of course, he got put in handcuffs. They caught him because he didn't get a chance to he didn't get a chance to take himself out. But before I get on that, I'm just saying, like, how do y'all feel about your kids? They go into school, they go into middle school, and you got these middle school kids too that are always saying, matter of fact, did not Jeremiah just have a kid in school? It's a trend going around where
They said
tell them what happened.
One of the kids little kids, the fourth grader, got in trouble for cussing, saying the F word in the lunch line. So I think he said it like 3 times. So kids they told the teachers or whatever that the little boy kept cussing. So the little boy got pulled out the line. He got taken to the principal's office or whatever. And when he got back, he was all upset and mad and crying and stuff because he got in trouble. That he started saying he wanted to kill himself. So we had to have a talk with Jeremiah to say that when you hear someone say stuff like that, then you tell somebody, whether it's an adult or another kid that's saying it, you go tell somebody. So I made contact with the school. I sent messages to the teachers, to the principals, the principal and assistant principal, to let them know, to like, hey, and it was after hours, so of course they didn't respond to me. That same day. It was the next day. Actually, they didn't respond then because they were testing. They were doing STAR testing. So I called up there. Before they had a chance to respond, and the assistant principal told me that that's something that's supposed to be some type of trend now that's going on, is that these kids are saying that they want to kill themselves every time they get in trouble.
Yep.
So and I guess she said it's a trend because that some of them might be just saying it just to say it. Some of them might be for real, but they still have to take action against it. And I guess she's saying trend because some of the the reasoning maybe that they got in trouble might not have been that, nothing drastic, but the kid went overboard with it, and they're starting to say that now. So, yeah, and that's nothing but a trick of the enemy to have this so-called trend going around floating. And as he said in the beginning, this is spiritual warfare.
Yep.
And that's what he gets you, because if he can get your mind and cause you to lose your mind and give you control and start putting all these thoughts in your head, and the more you keep saying it and saying it and saying it, then eventually it's gonna manifest itself. So that's what she was saying, that it's apparently that wasn't the first time that one of the kids had said something. But it's been a lot going on in these schools lately, even with kids just acting out, period. But that's one of the main things right now. And actually, a few days later, a kid brought a toy gun to school, and they had to send out a message to say to the parents and to the school to say, don't do that. Don't have these kids bring these to school, because it looks so real that that they thought that it was a real one, but it ended up being a toy one. So they got all these protocols and stuff that they gotta take and go into, and then people want to be hollering, well, why they killed my baby? Well, they thought it was a real gun.
Yep.
Too many of these toy guns look so real,
Real.
and some of them don't have. I know they used to say that the pellet guns and the BB guns used to that they have those tips, that they have a color tip, supposedly or whatever, but not all of them have them.
Mm-mm.
And I'm sure there's probably something that you can take off.
Right.
So it's crazy, with all the stuff that's going on right now. But yeah,
No. That's no. You're right. Like in all the stuff that's going on, especially with some of the guns that look real. But I guess with my thing is that you know it's the sense of it's like where's the attention, and what I mean by that is there has to be signs to where that this kid that is something wrong with this kid. It's something wrong that is something not right. Something is he needs to talk to. He needs to somebody needs to help him. Not crucify him, but somebody needs to help him. Because you got these children are always it always take them a minute before they get to their boiling point.
They got
Yeah.
they
got
gonna give
red
you
flags,
some type
man.
of indication. It's gonna be some type of indication there. Matter of fact, my god brother, our pastor, was saying that somebody that they know that they were in the room, not them themselves, but the mom was in the room, was in the house when the son tried to commit suicide.
Yeah.
And that just broke her to even know that he even did it while she was there.
Right.
The fact that he's still in the hospital right now. I don't know what all completely he did, but just the fact that he did it while she was there. And it's them red flags. It's something. Their mannerism is going to change. The way they talk is going to change. The way that they start when things don't interest them anymore, or certain things start to interest them. It's always something, some type of clues, some type of red flags, or something that should alert you to pay more attention.
Right.
That should, instead of just pushing them off. When these kids want to talk, let them talk. When it's sometimes it's good to just sit down and just have a conversation, because I know sometimes our lives get so busy, that we so constant with the go to work, go home, get to school, all of this, the daily routine.
They don't
we don't take a moment to sit down and just talk.
Yeah.
And if you would allow them to just talk and you just listen, you'll hear things.
You'll be surprised on how much they see in a day.
Yeah.
How much they see. It's like some of the things that a child try to compute in a day, we have to remember that their minds are still maturing. Yeah. And because they're trying to compute that, plus they're trying to compute with all the technology information that's out there, and because they're trying to do that, some kids, it's just like, dude, I'm stressed out, I'm tired, whatever. And then some kids, they let life, and what I mean by life, other people's views and opinions guide them and drive them when we're not paying attention. Like some of these things, some of these people on YouTube and stuff, they have influences. They be like, man, they might say something that can just trigger and be like, man, okay, whatever. And because these people, and this is why it's so important, especially for these people who influence young people. This is why it's so, man, and I'm gonna tell you another reason why too. I don't think that it is a part of the reason why some of these kids do it. I know it's another reason, but I mean, the gun violence on that side, as far as with the mental thing, that's part of it. There are things that are mentally or unstable in a kid's mind when they just go ahead and think, hey man, I'm finna go kill my grandmother, then go kill some little babies. Like that's mentally unstable, and you have to been thinking about doing that for years.
They said he that when he turned 18, he went and bought those guns that he had, so he was able to go buy them some kind of way. And they said, so one thing that I said that I saw early on when this first happened was that he bought them legally, that he was
Exactly.
able to
He
go buy
bought
them. And you can, it's so much
but
that
he
what
looks okay because he bought them. But you're not knowing this man's intentions, and nobody in his
they
life
don't do. It's not enough
is willing. Is
strict background. It's not enough strict rules and regulations with being able to purchase a gun. It's too easy. In this great old state of Texas, you got your open carry, so you can just do whatever you want to do now. But mind you, that's the people that we got in office. That's the people that get voted in office and things, and then that's why it's so important to vote. It's so important to know who you voting for and not just vote just to be voting.
I mean, but even with that, because even if you put a law in place, it still wouldn't be able to stop that, because if you got a guy that looked like he is in his right mind and he got all the things he need, he can still go and shoot up.
Yeah, it might not stop it
And
completely, but at least it can minimize. It can control it more to
maybe
a certain degree,
to a
depending
certain
on what
degree, because
what those rules and regulations are. The strictness is that's all. She said, "Wow, always." It's just all depending on what those things are.
I mean, because you say like some like certain people, like you say people. I believe the main reason is that because communication is horrible. Ever since after COVID, some people are still afraid to talk to people. Some people are still afraid to express things, and we don't.
I know people still afraid
We
to
don't.
talk and let
We
anybody
don't.
get close to them.
But see, the issue is though, and it's been like this for years though, even before COVID. We always look at the strange person. I always look at the quiet person. I always look and say, "Oh, this person's normal," when you know something going on. And just like you said, Nini just said it earlier that you have red flags. And if you living with somebody and you see something going on, you can't ignore it. And sometimes us as parents or guardians, sometimes we want to say, "Well, ain't nothing wrong with my child." Yes, it is. And you know it is, but
Wait,
you saying that, when what?
No, I read a comment. I'm sorry, it's the Professor X part for me. That's what got me. I'm sorry.
But no, I mean
Okay.
I mean I just I cause see me, knowing me, I'm not a political guy. And I don't do politics because to me both sides are wrong. Both sides got evil ways. Both sides got, and as you can see, now we got the president in office that we got right now. Everybody barely able to live. But what I'm saying is that what we have to get better at as a person, as people, is that we have to get better with making sure that everyone has a voice. Meaning that we have to make sure that, hey man, what's wrong with this kid? Sometimes we even do that in church too. We'll sit back and say, "Oh man, that kid sit back there all the time." And we'll preach at them. We'll say, "Make sure you get up and clap your hands," but we don't know what he's thinking in his mind. We can be thinking right now he's thinking suicide. Well, okay, if he's doing that, don't say, "I rebuke you, suicide spirit, right now." No, maybe you need to listen and see, why is he thinking suicide? Did somebody slap him abusively? Did somebody rape him? Did somebody touch him illegally? Did somebody do something? We have to, that's the thing with the young generation, is that the younger generation, when you're a child, and that's what I learned as a father, what God is teaching me as a father, is that, man, sometimes you just got to ask your children, why did you do that? What did God do when Adam? God already knew what Adam was doing, but when Adam was putting stuff on, God asked Adam, "What are you doing?" As a parent, he didn't say, "Oh man, I'm finna smite you." I mean, just think about getting smite by God, like a big hand slapping you by God. Like, that'll be aggressive. But I mean, he didn't do that. Sometimes we just have to sit down with our kids and ask them, "Man, what are you doing?" Even though, know what they're thinking, know what your child is thinking. If you didn't ask your child what you're thinking or what your child is doing or what's going on in your mind, then unfortunately, dude, what's going to end up happening is that as a parent, you're going to end up judging. And when you end up judging, it's going to push them deeper into a darker place to where they could do that suicide or could shoot up something or should do something. And so
That's why it is so important, as you said, is to ask, just
you
talk.
got to
And
ask, man.
sometimes we can even plant certain seeds in our kids just by us fussing.
I'm telling you.
Just by us
Yeah.
fussing so much and not giving them a chance to explain, just automatically going from 0 to 100 without understanding what they just did or what was their thinking, trying to understand what was their thinking, the reason why they did these actions. And sometimes when we do that, when we just automatically just start fussing and yelling and all this stuff first, that breaks down their self-esteem.
Yeah, and I'm
That
guilty,
breaks that
and y'all,
breaks
I'm
them down.
guilty, and I'm guilty.
And
I'm guilty,
and yeah,
and I'm
we
guilty,
used to
and
we
I had
both
to
used to do
learn,
that.
and I had
I
to learn. God had to teach me on how. Okay, with every single one of my boys, I have to treat each and every one of them differently, and so we have to make sure that we understand that. And she said that he killed his grandma, who was his caregiver. Some people are evil and use small mishaps to go crazy. No one should be able to buy an AR. That's only happens in America. And I mean, well, I don't know if it only happened in America, but I mean, shooting up schools, yeah. But in other countries, they blow up churches too. So I'm not gonna say that. Them boys, those radical guys, they use bombs in other countries, um and the reason why I know is because sadly I was watching this was a while back though, but I was watching CNN, and this girl had a Bible, and because she believed in Jesus, and they had a story. She was going to church every day. Well, these clowns who didn't believe in Jesus and thought that whoever believed in Jesus would die went and blew up the church, and of course that little girl died. And of course, that was over there in Africa. So, I mean, yeah, it don't only happen in America. People do dumb stuff everywhere. But the only thing is about here is that what I'm saying is that even though that even though that evil intent was there, there's always warning signs. And well, that's what you believe, but gun violence is everywhere. I have to agree to disagree, but gun violence is everywhere, and just like they have gun violence over there right now, you got a war going on right now in Ukraine. So gun violence is everywhere, and and it's a lot going on, and you'll be surprised at what you'll find in certain countries. But here with as far as um the certain way um that a war is, I mean, war, gun violence is the same thing. It's the same thing, you know. You using it's the same thing, but even though um well, they like I said I have to agree to disagree. So but let me move on. So they in the um I would say, like, basically it's you have to hear the person out. And like I think somebody said earlier, like you have to know where the signs are. And so, you know, like with that, I mean, it's like if you don't listen or if you don't hear, then you know things are gonna happen. But again, and now some things are plotted, some things are planned by evil people, especially like the one where they shut up the church or whatnot. That's planned. Those things are planned by people who are just, you know, stupid or, you know, just dumb. But I mean, we just have to. I don't know, but it just doesn't make sense to you can buy an AR-15, but women don't make the same wages or the choice to make a decision about their body. Yeah, that's true. But I just seen violence everywhere, and I mean, I can't say that more people died in America than the war. I can't say that. I cannot say that. I can't go tell a soldier that, especially those who fought in the Afghan war or those who fought in that, to say that, hey man, it's bad. I mean, different people have different experiences. I'm sorry, I can't say that. Uh, because I know too many people that they may say it's not true. And I know some people that fought in the war, and but I'm talking about all wars. But I know some people that fought in these wars, and I know some people been to certain places that certain things. Not saying that America is the greatest place, but that certain things are going on. You know, um, and it's. I mean, like I said, you know, over there in other countries, some people can't even. At least we have the freedom to go to church here, and in some countries, some women can't even read books, and their children can't even read books. If they do, they are shot and beheaded in certain countries. So, and that's on a daily basis. And then you say, well, you have other countries too, that if you actually come and you say, well, you know what, I'm a Christian or whatnot, they're still crucifying Christians today. They just don't put it on CNN. And they even have some people that are going through right now. They can't even go to church, but they don't put that stuff on CNN. They still blowing up churches today over there across seas. You also have people further down south that they don't. Yeah, you're right. They don't use guns, but I've seen people, man, they use machetes to chop up people just because of a disagreement. So my thing is that it's evil all over the world, and every country have its woes. Every country have its woes, but I know here in America, the sad part that's happening is that the guns are being in kids' hands. That's the sad part here, and then too, it's in our music because I kind of stumbled upon to a YouTube video to where these guys, man, dude, call them, man. These guys, these rappers, man, it's they get in there and they rap. And if we thought what Tupac and Biggie had was bad, these rappers 16, 17, 18, you know, out there in Memphis is bad. They out there shooting, killing each other. And black on black, by the way. Uh, you know, uh, they say, oh, he had beef with this guy, so he turned around and killed him, and then he turned around and went and go sprayed him, and then he did this, he went and killed his partner, then went and killed him, and all these kids, and I'm calling them kids because they're either 16, 17, 18, and 19, and a lot of them don't even reach 21. And they got their videos, and they start off on YouTube influencing people because they get on there. I'm gaining this. I'm in this game. I'm doing this. I'm doing all that. But yet, still, sometimes again, the parents allow them to listen to the songs when they have these songs and they're dissing people in these songs, talking about how I'm gonna gut you and kill you. But yet, this is what we do, and we say it's okay because they ain't nothing but a rap song, but they actually going to jail behind this stuff. And I mean, it's crazy.
I mean, it is, and I think it's still so much more going on. Even if you try to pull statistics and all that or whatever, I still say it's more going on than what's reported. It's more going on than what you know, what they show, what you see every
Right.
day. It's more than that because you can't see everything. You don't know everything. They don't report everything. So it's so much more going on than we realize.
It is.
So to say whether it's more going on over here or more going on over there, you can't you can't say that.
You can't say that.
Factually, no. Because everything is not reported, and then some stuff is so common in these places that they don't report it.
Right.
That it's the everyday thing.
That's
It's
why
the
I can't say that. I can't say
it's
that on
the
this show.
everyday.
I can't say that on this show, and that's
Yeah,
why
it's the
I can't
everyday
do that.
occurrence that it's not reported like that.
Right.
Um, and but still go, even as you're saying with the songs and all that stuff, and that goes back to with the way that we plant seeds. We don't think about it. That
Right.
everything that you do, everything that you say, everything that you listen to, it plants a seed some kind of way. And the more you plant it, the more you nurture it, the more that it gets fed, that is gonna grow. So with these songs and all that, with the listening to, with the gun, that's why I even went back and listened to pulled up the words to one of these Disney songs that was on one of the movies that the kids link, that they like, they just that they singing and think nothing of it, but they know all the words to it. So I went and
Mhm.
pulled it up because I kept hearing them sing. I said, dude, that don't sound right. Pulled up the lyrics. Yeah, no, stop singing that. So we don't sometimes don't we think that it's no harm, or just because it seems innocent,
Right.
because it sounds innocent or it looks innocent, that we don't think about sometimes that the things that we do, the things we say, the things we listen to, the things we allow in our spirits, the things that we allow our kids to partake in, we don't think about it sometimes that is planting a seed,
Right.
and it's gonna feed whatever you give the most attention to.
Yeah.
So yeah, and their environment there that they're around, whether it's at school or at home, or just out and about, their neighborhoods, those all of those things have influences and can cause and plant seeds and things. The mentality, the I don't care attitudes and stuff,
Hmm.
and to think, well, I got to do what everybody else is doing. So it's like, what do you it's you just got to know what you got to give attention to, what you don't, what needs to talking to about, and what doesn't. Help them to understand the difference.
Right.
Let them know, because all kids aren't mature enough to for certain things. Some of them think that it's no harm, well, everybody else is doing it, why can't I do it?
Right.
It becomes a trend.
Right.
Just like one of the schools, the school that Joshua was going to, the whole mentality, the environment of that school is like, huh?
Yeah, man.
It brings you down. And it wasn't just the just seeing the kids being kids. It wasn't even necessarily that. Even some of the teachers was like, the environment. One of them emailed me, so I'm so glad he's going to another school for to be in a better environment.
Yeah.
It's the environment. We don't think about that all the time.
It's
That
what people are bring. What are you allowing your kids to listen to? What are you allowing not only just to listen to, but even to look at, to who to be around? Like I have someone, like one of our neighbors. We caught one of the neighbors caught one of the kids, in somebody else's backyard. You know, and then they came and went into his driveway and started playing basketball with him. And me and my other neighbor, like, man, why are you hanging around them? You don't need to hang around them, because they jumped in the car and burnt out. If they would have did something, then he would have been culprit number one, because they was at your house.
and
And
mind you,
you can't do that.
this kid stays outside
Yeah.
probably 90% of the day. He stays outside about 90% of the day.
And they know
He
he
go in
nice,
the
so they
house,
know they're gonna
right?
abuse
He
him.
goes in the house to eat, to use the bathroom, and go to sleep.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, they know.
Otherwise, he's outside.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You're outside, your parents inside, or your parents not there. That they're not paying attention to who he's hanging around.
And
They're not paying attention to what these kids are doing.
That's
They
how I
just think it's
start.
okay. Well, he's
That's how I
mature.
start.
He is a mature kid, very smart, talented, but he's outside.
Yeah. That's how I
All
start.
of that goes thrown out the window when you got all these influences, negative influences coming around your child.
Yeah.
When you're not giving that attention, when you're not giving that time, when you're not giving that teaching and that nurturing. So thank God that there's other people around. As they say, it takes a village to raise a kid, to raise a child, which is true.
It does.
Because when one is slacking, somebody else might see it. And it's not to say that they're bad parents. No, it's not. And they're probably not. I'm sure they're not.
Mm-hmm.
But it's things that we still have to pay attention to. It's still things that we have to do. It's still things we got to teach them. We can't just let them just go through life just every day. Oh, last 6 days are cool. Like ain't nothing, it is what it is. No,
And
it's
that's
they're getting them knowledge and education. It's not just in the school.
man, and I mean, dude, even with that, because it's I mean, for real, it's because you got to think about it. When you say gun violence, where do you think the violence come from? A gun cannot be violent unless its user is violent.
Right.
And so you have to think about it, man. Like, a person that get those tendencies, it had to come from somewhere, even though is naturally evil within us, but still there are things that has to drive us to hey man, I'm gonna get revenge on this dude. Hey man, I'm gonna come after him. Hey man, I'm gonna come after him. I'm gonna come after you. I'm gonna come after you. And that's because, okay, well, like one of the kids one of the videos that I was looking at on YouTube, he said, man, look, I grew up that way because my uncle taught me to be that way. My uncle was in jail, but I got out, and he taught me to be that way. So then I am that way. But it took a life threatening thing for him to kind of get out of that, and kind of he kind of started doing different things. But shoot, all his homeboys dead. And so this is what I'm saying. Like, it's like it's basically a cycle. I think my mom was the one that was saying the devil is after our children, and I don't care what nobody say, but he is, because he don't want us to grow and be successful in God. And that's mainly what it is. That's why you have that violence. And even if I really believe that, even if you because even if we could say, hey man, you know what, if I can raise a child up and train them up, in the way that they should go, and at least if I can give them some hope or something, then okay, they can change. But when uh when you are the ones who sit there and allow your child and say, hey man, I'm gonna allow my child to do whatever they want, because now you got parents nowadays that that don't want to, they don't want to parent their child, but um they want to be the child friend, like we talked about in parenting.
Mm-hmm.
But it starts from there. You know, you can't let your child be outside doing whatever they want to do, and you don't know who they're hanging around. You can't let your child, at least just find out who they hang around, find out what they're doing. Be in their life. You know, all these kids, man, with these guns and these videos and stuff like that. And the way I look at it, I'll be like, man, I felt sorry for them, because that's all what they know. In Chicago is bad. Had people, that rap game is horrible. Down there in Louisiana, that rap game, they shooting, killing each other. I'm talking about 16-year-old kids ain't even making it. They not even making it to 21. These are kids with guns, not just Texas. Everywhere in the United States. So, at the same time, it's everywhere. And so it's like, the thing is like, well, why not just make poetry about poetry? Why does it have to be about killing? You see what I'm saying? And so that's where it comes from. And it's always about beefing. When people, come out, they say, man, they beef, get out there and got that money. And then, they get the police involved and stuff. It's just too much aggression. And these kids, man, all they just need somebody to just sit them down and say, look, man, this is the road that you're going down. And you got 18-year-olds talking about, man, I want to go seek revenge, so I'm gonna go do a drive-by on this boy over here in the hood. It's
It's becoming too common.
very
It's
common.
becoming too, or has been for a long time, too easy to resort to that for people to say, well, I'm gonna just go kill him, or I'm gonna go shoot him. It's too, for that to automatically be that. instant of a decision, that much of a choice. Um, that and be satisfied with that and good with that, to do that, to want to do that. It's crazy. Um, yes, parents have they're the ones that train them up as supposed to train up a child in the way that they should go when they are old, they won't depart. But your child is going you're not going to be there 24/7. Your child is going to have other influences. So it's not just necessarily just training them up too with that, as doing that, but also prayer, also covering them,
Covering.
also also, and then knowing that, yeah, they probably will they're gonna make some mistakes, but being able to show them love and pulling them back to let them know, okay, now that you don't see, now you see that this is not the way. Keep coaching them, keep encouraging them.
Mm-hmm.
It's at home, it's school, it's music. There's influences everywhere,
It's influences,
and it's not. You can't just
yeah.
put
I
it
have
on
to. You can't just say it's at.
on one.
I'm gonna be honest with you because I'm sorry. I have kids that go to school, and it's not just home. I can be the greatest dad in the world, but they can still get influenced by somebody at school.
Yeah, and
I have like we just used the kid across the street. He's a good kid, but if we understand that his parents has taught him well, but there could be somebody at school that can be influencing him when he's at school. He has to make that decision himself. Well, am I going to listen to what my parents said, or am I going to go and do what this guy just told me to do? I have to make a choice. And sometimes peer pressure is a mug. And so, even with that being said, we can be taught well, but no kid is perfect. And this is why I say parents have to be involved in a kid's life. But at the same time, that kid have to make those decisions. That's why the Bible says should go. We have to train up a child in a way they should go. That means that we're not enslaving our children. That means that we're teaching our children that, hey, go this route. This is the way you should go. But if you choose this way, well, this is what's going to happen, which meaning God is telling us as parents, we still have to give our children the decision for them to make it. And when they go out there with whatever they do, God is saying that there are some decisions that the parents not going to be around, that the kids going to have to make. And so the world is a heavy, heavy, heavy place to where it can influence a child. And so like and a teenager, and I have to talk to my boys every day. I have to talk to them. I have to, like my wife said, you got to pray. You got to do all those things, because at the end of the day, a child will not steer away from what their parents taught them. But sometimes peer pressure is right there, and they'll do it because of peer pressure. And this goes all back to in the beginning when we was talking about, this is why we have to talk to our kids. Because if your child made that mistake, instead of being the whooping, beating parent, then you got to be the parent that sit down and talk to them and listen and counsel and understand.
Let them
You see
tell
what I'm
you
saying?
what was their thinking, what was their thought process,
what was going
why
on,
did they do this, what happened, the reason why this happened.
Right.
It all plays a part.
It all plays a part
together. It's all it's a cycle.
Yes.
It's something, because something happened. Yes, we can do it. We say yes, we can train them up, but eventually we got to send them out.
Yeah.
Eventually they go out into the world. Eventually they go to school. Eventually they go to work. And then we got to just trust and believe that what we instilled in them, that it sticks.
Yes.
That it helps them.
We
to
have
make
to trust.
The right
we have to trust
that they know that the Holy Ghost is within them. That the Holy Ghost will lead them and guide them.
That's exactly right.
They allow it to.
If they allow it.
Otherwise, I mean, as you said, peer pressure.
Yeah.
Flesh.
Man, I'm trying
anything
to tell you,
can steer you to make the wrong decision at that time, or get caught up in the stuff. Because one time you do it, once or twice, okay, you made a mistake, but you keep making that same mistake no more. It's no longer a mistake.
Yeah.
It becomes a habit. It becomes something that you want to do.
And talk to them. Watch this. Talk to them to what they see. One time I asked Joshua, what do you see at school? He told me everything he see. And I had to explain some of the stuff he saw. So it's like, dude, the world does not care at this day and age, at this time. Back then, some things used to be hidden from kids back then. Now, everything's available.
Yeah.
So what I'm learning as a parent is that now I have to talk to them about everything, no matter what age they are, because the world is already introducing it to them through movies, internet, gaming, all that is giving it to them. So it's like, man, you gotta stay ahead of the game. And so, and as a parent, I had because I used to be I'm not gonna lie, like I used to be a parent with little to little understanding. But then as more as I'm growing deeper and deeper, God is making me wiser and wiser and understanding. And I say that openly because I'm not perfect. And I say that openly because God is teaching me every day to be a better father. And so even with them, it's like, dude, I'm gonna teach you.
And
You know,
we
and we're
as
gonna get that.
parents have to remember not to let our frustrations of our everyday things that we deal with, things that we deal with on the job,
Yep,
things that we
that
deal
too.
with outside in this world, just like the kids, things that we deal with our spouses, things that we go through, that we don't put it off on our kids, that we don't release our frustrations on our kids, that we don't fuss and yell at them for no reason when really that ain't the reason why you mad. They did something small.
Mm-hmm.
It was just because you were tired, you were frustrated, you were irritated already, that one thing that they did caused you to just blow up on them.
Yeah.
So we have to, even as parents, check ourselves. As adults, we got to check ourselves. We got to watch ourselves on what we do. And there's nothing wrong with doing a self check. There's nothing wrong with doing a self evaluation, because that means you're growing. That
Right.
means you're recognizing. That means to let you know too to yourself that you're not perfect, that things
Perfect.
happen.
Things happen,
But
man.
we got to remember to always show love.
Love and love.
Always show
Love
love. Because
and
love
mercy.
covers
And
love,
mercy.
great love and mercy.
Love,
Love,
grace, and
grace, and
man. That come
mercy.
on.
It
Because
all
look, the way I look at it is, we call God is our heavenly Father, right? Right.
mine.
He's no, he's our Father,
No,
right?
I say
Yeah,
mine.
and because he's our Father, and what does he do to us? He shows us love, grace,
Hmm.
and mercy. So us as parents, why shouldn't we do the same?
And we're supposed to. If we're supposed to be
Like
have a likeness
Christ.
of Christ, like
That's what I'm
Christ, then we
saying.
got to do the same
So
thing.
if we are too aggressive,
Hmm.
and it's okay to discipline, but if you are too aggressive and not willing to listen, because I don't know how many times God sat there and listened to me, and we have to make sure we're listening, because just like our kids' mind is growing, guess what? God understands that our minds are still growing. It's all that's why I say, when you open your eyes to God, man, you see things in a different perspective instead of what the world traditionally think as parent raising is. It's much different than what we think it is. And that's why I say, and I had to learn that, because I thought I was like, well, I knew everything. No, I don't. No, I don't. And God say, no, TJ, you need to sit down. You don't know everything. And that's why I don't jump to conclusions or jump to things, because I don't, unless I've witnessed it, seen it, experienced it, or either, even reading somebody else's opinion, I don't go off of that. But, I go off of something that I know that God has given me, and something that is, you know, straight factual facts, and truth, God's truth, as far as in raising my kids in this world. Because at the end of the day, man, I'm telling y'all, man, it's serious out there. I mean, when I tell you, you got 15-year-olds that know the drug game. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. Like I said, gun violence exists because of where men's hearts are. And like Jesus said, our hearts are wax cold. I should not be teaching my son at 15 years old about the drug game. I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be teaching my son, or allowing him to listen to a song that say, man, I dropped dead on this other rapper. He called the rapper's name and said, I'm gonna drop him, I'm gonna kill him, I'm gonna pull up and bust him. Well, okay. Well, you singing that, and one day you might get pissed off and think, oh man, I'm gonna drop and kill this boy right here because he pissed me off. I know where my daddy Glock is. It's that easy. Now your dad, who is a responsible gun owner, you didn't snuck in and got the gun, and now you finna go and smoke this other dude. Why? All because of anger and hate that was transferred. You see what I'm saying? By you, it's all a cycle. And the problem is, and I really believe, I'm gonna be real with you. I really believe the problem is us as people, we don't want to stop the cycle. We don't want to stop it. Because why? It's money involved. It's other things involved in the cycle. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. If people really wanted a better life, they would clean up the projects. They would clean up areas, not clean up like kill them off, but clean up and helping them and stuff. But people don't want it, And but I just really believe people don't want to stop the cycle because they want to blame everything else on everything else. And it's our communities. They got to get it together.
Yes,
I can sit up here. I can sit up here and I can sit up here and judge every single person that sits in their office. I can sit up here and get mad and say, "Oh man, this clown," even though they have the responsibility to put laws in place. But why should I depend on the government if my community is jacked up? Dude, shouldn't you say, "Hey, young man, put that gun down"? No, give me that. Give me all the guns. If I'm a gang member, give me all that.
They used to do. I haven't heard about them. Not to say that they don't do them anymore, but they used to have programs, different police departments, and some just different organizations or whatever. They used to have a day where they allow people or convince people, encourage people to turn in their guns.
But see, it's not. But that's the thing.
It's to help clean up with getting the guns off of the street.
And that's true.
But I'm saying I don't even hear about.
But see, but if I got the gun off the street,
I'm just saying that was one of that's just one thing that I remember as a tool or as a way as the community thing that people were doing to try to help clean them up. And it wasn't no to help get them off, to get them out the wrong hands. It wasn't no judgment on it. You just dropped off, turned it in, dropped it off. No, nothing. No questions asked. It was just a tool, as I said, that they used many years ago, which I don't know if anybody still does it now. But
I'm pretty sure they don't.
They did as a community effort to try to clean that up, to help to get people to understand that that's not.
Because I do, because some laws, laws do need to be put in place. But laws don't stop to stupidity.
Right.
And that and my thing is that when you get out there and you do that stuff, you get out there and the community, it takes a community to step up and say, "Hey man, we got to stop this." Just like our neighborhood right now, you got those little hooligans. They get out there, they want to start fights, they try to make the neighborhood look bad. What do we do? Yeah, they got the constables out here. Say, "Hey man, you need to stop." But at the same time, you got drug lords out there that want to keep making their money because they think that, oh man, you know what? Hey, this is my only job. This is what I can do. But somewhere down the line, we got to say, hey man, you know what? I got to break that cycle. I got to break that cycle. I got to break what's going on in my community. And some communities like it and they know it. They get out there and say, "Oh well, we know so-and-so. We know what he doing. He know what he doing." But okay, you know what they doing.
But that's just talking and people just accepting what it is and not wanting to make any change, not putting any effort to put any changes into effect. That's just people who are just complacent in their environment that just think and act like there's nothing else better. Act like they can't do better. And people forget that you have the power within you to make a difference.
You have the power to make a difference. You
don't have to wait on the laws. You ain't got to wait on your neighbor. You don't have to wait on your mayor or whatever. When you have the ability to be an influencer, a positive influencer. But a lot of times people get, it's the mindset. Their mindsets that they act like there's nothing better, or think that okay, it's nothing I can do, but it is. You have power within you to be an influencer, a positive influence. You have the power within you to make a change. You have a power in you to plant positive seeds.
Yes,
into people. Yeah, you got to be on a huge big old platform, and you got to be this person, that person, have a title or nothing like that. You can do that just being who you are.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I'm just saying, if you, this my thing. If you're gonna be a game that's positive. Change. Change change your neighborhood. Don't be a game that's causing more drama. Be a game to where, hey man, we're a game where we making sure that all our guys go to school and they go to college, or they making sure they have jobs and families. That's what we're raising. If you want to keep guys off the street, then do that.
We don't push, or it's not pushed enough anymore. The boys and girls clubs, the mentorship and all that stuff. That stuff is not, it's not pushed anymore. They still do it, but you got to Google it and find out where it's at because you don't hear about it. It's not in the forefront like it used to be when we were in school, when we were in middle school and high school. That you always heard about it. You heard about it more then back then than you do now.
Yeah, that is true.
So much stuff has
overtaking it. That's true.
The perspectives have changed. The things that people desire and want
has changed. Because now everybody want a gun. Everybody want one. It says, I remember when Marcel came home to the type of behavior I don't teach, but I had to talk with him about peer pressure and bullies and drugs and sex and how to react, and told him your choices will affect your future, and negative or positive results combinations is key. I have learned this myself, raising a child that has a mood disorder. It's communication. But she just stated again, he got it from school. He was influenced. So even though, but look how the way she said that though. She said, she told him his choices. So even though she still had to redirect, that's what I was saying as a parent. When you have a kid that when your children are going to school, yes, you have to communicate with them. And that's what me and my wife was saying, that you have to talk to them and see what's going on. Why are you acting this way? But when sometimes some parents, they don't listen to they don't even talk to their kids and ask them, how did your day at school went? They just say, forget that. So again, we have to understand that our children at school, what, 8 hours a day?
Yeah.
So
longer than that.
They are experiencing, think about it, they're experiencing more at school than they are at home at this point. Because now they're at home, they come home, they eat, maybe they sleep a little bit, they got to do their homework, and then you maybe have a little talking time at the table, and then you got to get your clothes ready to go to school the next day. So it's about, the parents have to stay on top of the game with the little time they have, and then when the weekend comes, then that's when you're like, hey man, okay, if I didn't get a chance, what's going on? What happened? Because sometimes we can let things stack up and we don't know, we miss it. That's why I say it's the importance. But again, we have to make sure that, like I say with my boys, like what I'm trying to teach Joshua now is a choice. And I'm teaching Joshua a choice because mom and dad can't make his choices forever. And Joshua have to learn how to speak up for himself. He have to learn how to talk and do those things. So what I'm learning too.
One of the important things, especially when it comes to the peer pressure and stuff and being influenced, is I told Jeremiah and Ezekiel that just today, that you have to be able to stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
You have to be able to stand in truth. You have to be able to stand and hold to what you believe in. Because if you don't, it's too easy that you can be persuaded. Mm-hmm. It's too easy that you can allow peer pressure or whatever, the influences around you, to cause you to easily go the other way.
But look what happened with Joshua. Joshua got in trouble. We're not bad parents, but he got in trouble how many times? Like 3 times. And so, but he got in trouble because he allowed someone in class to influence him. When he know better, to talk back at the teacher, thought it was funny because the other kid was doing it, and he was doing all that stuff, talking when he was supposed to be doing this work. But we had to remind him, hey man, that's what I'm saying. Like the same way we have to be reminded as Christians. Thank you, Holy Spirit.
That you're better
That
than
we
that.
that hey man, what are you doing? You made a mistake. Hold on. We talked about this last week, but you're kind of slipping again. So let me put you back on track. So that's the same thing with the kids. Like you can teach them at home as much as you can, but that doesn't mean they're not gonna slip up when they go to school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if their best friend might have did something bad, and well, boom, I did something bad. Okay, well, dang, I'll just follow him. But dang, now I know I messed up. Matter of fact, I was just teaching Joshua and Jeremiah now about the 10 Commandments the other day. And I told them about thou shalt not steal. I told them the story about me stealing. And when I stole from Fiesta about the piece of gum, and my mom made me think I was going to jail. And I got a whooping. But the thing was, I learned. But I learned from that. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, my thing is that we have to make sure that we understand that you can teach what you can and communicate and do it, but you have to communicate with your kids and make sure, like how the way my mom was, she made sure we knew who we were hanging around. And when we make mistakes, I mean, she'd be like, hold on, is this the right friend for you? Are you hanging around the right person? You know, so I mean, we have to make sure we know that who our kids are hanging around. We have to make sure of that nowadays. We have to make sure because, I mean, it's. I mean, I'm telling y'all, man, life, man, dude, it's different out there, dude. You can be teaching your kid about the Bible at home and at school. They teaching them everything else. You can be doing what you don't have control over everything. That's what I learned that too.
Yeah.
You don't. And the thing is that you have to make sure what I learned to do is I'm teaching them that, hey, they're going to say this at school, or they might tell you this, or they might say this, but this means this, and this means that, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You know, if they have questions, that's why, you know, when I ask them questions, what do you hear? What do you know? What do you see? You know, I have to know then to help them understand, because they're teaching these kids about different things the way the world sees it. You see what I'm saying? So it's a difference. It's a difference. And so when you're dealing with that, you have to tread with God to know how to handle things, and you have to handle it right. So you know, it's a lot, man. It is such a lot. But again, with all this ties into the gun violence. Because we can have somebody and fight and say, hey man, we're gonna put these laws into place. And you can still have somebody that can sell guns under the table. Because that's what evil does. It finds another route. And so it all starts with our children. And I'm taking the camera, but it all starts with our children. And I really believe it starts with our children. And if the home is not right, because let's be real, a lot of homes are not right.
They're not.
So if the home is not right and somebody know the home is not right, like my wife said earlier, sometimes it takes a village. And sometimes, man, you gotta be like, hey, man, like I don't know how many people have said, man, if it wasn't for so and so, he was like a dad. Like some of those rappers that I was telling y'all about on YouTube, them YouTube gangster rappers that be killing and stuff, and all that. I'm talking about for real murder cases, real murder cases. I'm talking about cops going in, having people, FBI, all that stuff. Some of those guys, one of the rappers said, hey man, you know, my dad was in jail. I never seen my daddy. You know, and he said that his grandma raised him. But he said he went south when his grandma died. So when his grandma died, that was it. And you know,
you can plant what
you can plant. You know what I'm saying?
But it's always something behind the reason why. Some type of influence or something, some situation or whatever happened, the reason why that people turn a certain way that they do to make the choices that they make.
Yeah, man. It's so always deep. It's deep, man. I mean, some of the stories, man, it's deep. I mean, these kids be going through it, man. Like, I mean, when I was 18, I didn't see a gunfight. I didn't see my cousin get shot. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see old boys get shot or whatever, and he got shot up because he shot my cousin. He shot this. I didn't, matter of fact, it's an episode right here on YouTube. I have an episode. I did an early episode called oh yeah, that their program got overlooked like a mug.
That rarely.
Dude.
Is it matter of fact, what 2-3 years ago? We were coming from out of some restaurant or something,
and there was on the side.
Yeah, they had a little table. They had a little table set out trying to bring it back, trying to make it more relevant or whatever again. But it's not. It's so much stuff, as I said, even in these schools. Or when you have schools like the school that Jeremiah was at, they don't have nothing for these kids to do.
Man,
they don't have nothing for these kids to get into these programs programs and clubs and organizations and stuff. They don't have anything for them to get into. All they had was the step team. If you wasn't on the step team, you didn't make the step team. That was it.
Yeah,
it was nothing else for them to do at school. It was nothing else for them that drew their interest. It was nothing else for them to be a part of. And when you come, when somebody that's in the world and into all of this gun violence, into the drugs, into the streets, when they find somebody that's like that, they gonna feed on that. It's like a predator. They gonna prey on that because PREY. They gonna prey on those kids that are like that because it's like, dude, we got you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how a lot of these kids even get into gangs in the first place.
Yeah,
they present something to them that makes it enticing. Oh man, you can make some money, dog. Don't you want the latest shoes? Ain't you tired of people talking about you? You ain't got your units together. They gonna play off of those things, the things that affect you, the things that bother you, the things that you think you lack in, the things that you don't have. That stuff plays and it influences you. It influences you to do certain things. It influences you to start wanting to try other options.
Yeah.
It makes you expand instead of, flipping it and trying to do something positive out of it. As I telling them yesterday, their grandmother was trying to get them to build a pop-up or to build a city. Out of boxes and stuff or whatever. She had them draw their plans out and had them draw the boxes. The task was to make them work together. But the thing is, because they thought they didn't have what they needed to make this vision come to reality, they gave up. They wanted to go do something else. So sometimes we forget, it's too easy. Sometimes they want to go do something else because this not working.
Yeah.
Instead of understanding that you have to try, instead of understanding you have to keep pushing, instead of understanding that trials and tribulations, things are going to come up against you. That's going to make you say, okay, what you going to do? You going to straight away and go this way, or you going to go that way?
Yeah.
You going to make this decision. You going to go to the left. You going to go to the right. You standing at the fork in the road. Which way you going to go? And we got to remember and understand that our kids, no matter what, they're going to get to a point in life that they have to make the decision, that they're going to have to know, because of whatever we instilled in them, the things that we instilled in them, that hopefully that it overtakes those influences that try to get them.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to keep praying, and it takes a village too, like I said, and your church family too. Godfathers, godmothers.
Yeah. That's why I said that's why it's good to are okay if they have a godparent. It's okay if they say they thought of such and such as a second parent, as another mama or as another daddy. It was some video that floated around. This dude was giving a toast to his brother at his wedding. His daddy was standing there. His daddy was there, but he told his brother that you was like a daddy to me.
Yeah.
So it's okay. That daddy didn't get offended. So it was like, dude, they understood that it takes, it takes more than one. It's not all just on you.
Yeah.
That it's when you, and it's stronger together. That you make
It's
a bigger
stronger.
impact together. And just like like Rachel saying that some of the schools, that most of the elementary schools really don't have school activities. Sometimes it depends on the area.
Yeah, because
mind you, going about 2 miles down the road, 2.5 miles, 2 miles down the road, whole nother school. They got
they
like
got after
five,
school
six
activities.
after school, a drumming club, the video club, the news thing. So
It depends
it
on where you
depends
are.
on the
Well, it
environment.
depends. Not where you are. It depends on the community.
The
The
community, yes, the
community wants
environment.
that, so the community puts effort into the school. Some people depend on the government too much to where if the money is there in the community, then hey man, you can make it happen. But sometimes, man, people say, hey man, I can't do that. I don't have this, so y'all got to give me this. Well, you already know the school system sucked because of the government.
And then you
So I
can't
mean,
wait on them.
you
You
can't wait
can't
on them
wait on them.
boys. You
So
got to
just
do what
like
you got to do.
how each campus, so which I'm sure is somebody there, somebody said, "Hey, we got to get these kids into something. We got to have offer them something to be
Yes.
able to do." And I'm sure that's probably what they didn't wait on the school district to do it, because now the
Nah,
school district is just now trying to upgrade all the schools. The
yep,
school district is just
just
now
now spending all that money on
trying to
buildings.
yeah, building new schools, which is totally fine. I mean, and they're trying to make them more appealing. They're trying to update the schools that they have now. They got to trying to do, like, just for example, they trying to put a dance classroom in multiple campuses so the girls can get into dance, into ballet, or different things, but have a little dance studio for the kids,
Right.
making things more appealing for them. Now, the school Joshua's finna go to that they building now, he wants it to be in culinary arts. They building a commercial
A
kitchen.
commercial for
They
middle
putting in a
schoolers.
commercial
For
kitchen in
middle
this school.
schoolers.
The only middle school that's gonna have a commercial
The
kitchen.
only one.
All the rest of them just have your regular typical home kitchen in the school. So they have different things now that they're trying to put into place to make it more appealing. The whole building even looks better.
Because you gotta, my thing is with and that, oh man, this is getting good, because that's where it starts there too, because it also starts with education as well. Because back then, like you have shop classes, classes that'll make sure
Trade
because
and
it's
skill
good.
classes that make
You need trade and skill classes are excellent to have in early school, because it gives people the opportunity to be busy and keep the kids' mind working. Everybody can't play sports. Everybody can't do things. So you need a variety, and education should be the biggest funded variety of things. So when you that's where that money should be put into. It should be put into that, not into testing. That's what we should get rid of. That all that testing and stuff and over testing people, because at the end of the day, you want kids to make sure they putting their hands to work, because that's all these games are doing. All these games are doing is putting a gun in these kids' hands to put them to work. That's it. And they getting out there and they think, man, I'm good. I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no future. I don't care. It ain't nothing, no way, blah, 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 blah. And
if they see better and know better, they do better.
Just like I had, I work at U of H, right? And so at this summer, it's a video on here where I talk about you never know what a young person go through. You never know. You never know what a young person go through. And I put it on there. And this kid, at first, I'm like, man, why are you doing this? A black young dude. And I'm talking about teenager. I'm like, man, you can't be doing this. At first, I was about to judge him. But I sat there. Holy Spirit said, no, I want you to ask him. And so I asked him, I asked him, man, why do this? And so he said he thought it was a joke or whatever. But he went on to continue. This dude has witnessed his cousin get shot, witnessed it right there, saw them put the body and everything. His dad went to jail, never saw his dad in jail. His mom died. So now he had to go to his grandma. I believe his grandma passed away, so he had to get fostered. Then going on, there was some other things going on with his life that he saw or whatnot, which have him kind of in the streets. And so I was like, man, dude, and of course, I prayed for him, right then and there. But the police officer, when he was in there, the police officer was kind of going hard on him, like, man, you got that choice. You don't have to do this. Da, 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 da. Yeah, but I was listening to him, and I'm like, dude, you don't understand. Sometimes, man, when these kids, they're giving what they're giving. And when they're giving what they're giving, they don't see no way out. And that's kind of like what he was saying. When I tell you that this kid, he started to cry and some of the things that he was telling me, I'm like, golly, dude, you know, we have to remember that, you know, and that's a trauma thing. That's a trauma feeling that, you know, a kid witnessed some of those things and witness all that stuff. That's trauma, you know? And so we have to remember that. And, you know, I know that he still have a chance to get out, which is good. So the chance is there. But if he fail, then somebody got to be there to pick him up and help him. Because unfortunately, right now, what he was dealt with life is mostly that. You know, he wasn't dealt with the nice things in a suburban home, and you know, the dare program. He wasn't giving all that. You know, he was giving the actual stuff. You know, and so that's what we have to understand, and that's why I say, and I understand that if I was to talk to somebody, and one day hopefully I'll be able to do that, but if I was to talk to somebody and talk to somebody in the hood, you could tell that people in the hood, they'll either say, man, look, it is what it is, or they'll tell somebody, hey, man, you know, it is, that's how it is in these streets. You know, I'm good, I'm cool, though. You know, I do what I do, or whatever, but you know, nothing can change, or whatever. I mean, if it's like that, I get it, but there's an opportunity for everybody. And I know a lot of people don't believe that. A lot of people say that, hey, man, it's there's not an opportunity and everything. But at the end of the day, man, there's an opportunity, you know, that people can have if we just help. Now, some people don't want help, but kids, I'm gonna tell y'all, kids may say they don't want help, but kids always want better. But it's where their hope is at that moment. Because if their hope is not there, then they're gonna continue to go on the path that they know. But if a kid is given hope, man, they can do great things. I mean, and because a kid's mind, I mean, it's easy to deter away from certain things. You know, it's easy to teach a kid things. It's easy to have them to do things. And so I really believe I really believe, man, that, you know, that's one of the reasons why, multiple reasons why our gun violence is out of control. And it's you know, I know, like, I will say the few reasons. I'll give four of them. And I know one, like Rachel said, it is at home, and I know that is true at home. But then two, the community have to step up as well. And then, you know, three, a second, I'll say our education, and then three, our communities. You know, and then, you know, because usually, man, sometimes, man, the government don't move until they see the communities wanting to do something. I'm gonna be serious.
That's true.
Sometimes the government be like, why should we make a law when y'all really don't care? Like, I'm not gonna do that, you know. And sometimes, man, you have to show them that, hey, man, this is what we want. We are the people. This is what we want, you know. But if you got people going down, I still want to shoot each other. This is how I'm gonna make my money. Then it's not gonna work, and we can't support. It's so many people that support the violence. It's so many people. I was looking at those YouTube videos of those rappers, and those people down there talking about, man, yeah, he was rapping good too, but he weak though. He weak. He got shot. That's what he get, man. He should have been rapping. Huh? Like, well, that's what he get. That's an 18-year-old, cuz. What are you talking about? So I'm like, you know, and you know, that's why I say, you know, it's a lot. I see a lot more, but it's all those things brings gun violence. And I think it was I think it was right before COVID when everybody went out and bought guns. You know, fear also bring gun violence.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Racism bring gun violence. You know, all these things that men hearts, where our hearts are, that's what brings the violence. And we got to tackle those things to get rid of the violence.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't tackle those things and we just try to put a law in place, all they're going to do is just find an illegal way around it to kill people. That's all they're going to do. That's it. And that's why I say, you know, and I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, because you look at what the laws of, not saying that all police officers are bad, but you see that some police officers don't follow the laws and some of them do dumb stuff. So I mean, we have to understand that a law is a law. Yes, true, and it will put a stamp and kill some of it, but not all of it. Like it all starts with the heart. It all starts with what are we teaching our people? What are we teaching them? And are we teaching them the love of God? Are we teaching them what it means? And so that's why like the guy across the street, like we told him, man, hey, we watch out for David. We watch out for that kid because we know he's a good kid. And I pulled him to the side. I told him, I'm not your daddy, but hey, man, you got to watch those kids you hang around because I believe the cops was looking for that kid. Don't let him hang in your driveway talking about he going to wait for his ride in your driveway. He can wait at that corner, not at your driveway. So I mean, I just believe that, with all these things, just like that guy that killed those people in Buffalo, that was racial driven. He wanted to kill 10 black people. Unfortunately, well, yeah, he used the gun to do it, but his mind was in the wrong place. You see what I'm saying?
That's what
The
he
dude,
says. I hadn't read
the
nothing
dude, yeah,
until
that's
recently, but
that's what he stated.
that was that he wanted to kill as many as he could. He only killed 10.
And
which
then
was
with
10 too many, but he wanted to kill as many as he could just because, and he drove hours. That store
that
wasn't
wasn't even
even
in his vicinity, in his area.
Yeah.
And mind you, to that too, that I think he was the one that they said that he wrote a note in his graduation talking about he wanted to kill people at the graduation.
Oh, I thought
that was him.
No, I wasn't. I thought they said he said something about that he was gonna do it at graduation or
At
something,
graduation, but it didn't go through because somebody reported
I
it.
didn't read the whole.
So somebody reported it, and they did an
Okay, so
investigation on
he
it
was
and
gonna
dropped
try
it.
to do it at school or something
Yeah,
or whatever. Then
and he
changed
dropped it.
to
They changed to the store
store
because somebody ended up snitching. So he was like, "No, man, no." And then they ended up investigating, and they couldn't find nothing because, they didn't charge him with nothing because I don't know why. But now this happened.
I heard something about that they didn't do anything about the threat or something. I don't know, but it's
yeah. So it's a lot that's a lot into that, and then even with what is that called, the one that happened in California at the church. He went in and she said both people they couldn't graduate. He flunked out.
No, she said. I guess when he made that threat or whatever.
Oh, they couldn't graduate.
That they didn't allow him to. I guess.
Okay.
I didn't read the whole thing.
She said no. Okay, so he couldn't graduate. Okay, so that's probably why he did what he did, and probably the person that snitched on him probably was a black person. But still, the people that they got shut up at the church. And that's what I wanted to get to was about the church, about should people bring safetyness, should people bring guns to church? But I don't believe so. But it's sad that you have to think about that you can't even go to church safely. That you don't know if somebody will walk in, like at the church we go to, that we're actually sharing. They have a sign on their building with no guns allowed. So I just believe it is just sad that it has to be that way. It's just like people shouldn't even be thinking about bringing a gun into the church, but as far as for protection and doing those things, I know that some people, but I'm not a fan of it. But I know some people, just, hey man, keep it in your car. But it is what it is. I mean, I know some churches allow it, but with me, I'm just not a fan of it. I would not. No, I wouldn't know. No, but yeah, I mean, dude, and I think California got gun laws, right? I don't know. I think they do.
I'm sure they probably have some, but as far as what the extent or whatever it is, I don't know.
No, and I think they do. They got gun because that shooting happened in California.
Yeah, and that was like that just came and went. When that one happened, I really didn't hear much about that one.
It happened at this on. I think it happened the same. I think it. I think it happened the same day. I think. Oh, Sarah said that it was racism against Asians.
Huh?
She said that one was against Asians. I think the one in California.
Because there was one that I thought there was one that
No, I don't know.
she might be answering the questions. You know,
Yes.
sometimes
Wait, which one is no and which one is yes?
as far Rachel's no
Yeah,
might
that's
be
true.
the thing. Your
No.
question about the
Right. Yes. I'm confused.
Yeah, it's a delay sometimes on some of the on some people's feeds, but I think her Rachel's no at first might have been the
Asians.
yeah, Rachel's no might have been when you
So,
was asking
yes.
about the does California have gun laws?
Yes. No,
And
they
then-
don't. So yes.
Yeah, I think her no was for that.
Oh, they don't have gun laws. Okay. So, but it's yes on the Asians, right? I just want to make sure that's true.
Yeah,
I don't
she
want
was
to put
saying I
that out
think the
there.
yes
And
to
it's not.
the Asians.
Okay. So that was yes. It is a okay. So yes, yes. Okay. So we got two. Yes. So Sarah and Rachel say yes on the Asians. Okay. So I didn't. Wow. So that was racism against Asians, and no, they couldn't. No, they couldn't graduate. Okay. And that's the graduation was the guy in Buffalo, correct? For with the shooting in Buffalo.
Yeah, I know that one. I don't know about that kid. Because all I remember hearing something was about his when he hit his 18th birthday. Because there was so much stuff that kept coming out and updating. Because it last I saw, I think it got up to 21 people that ended up dying, kids and adults at the school. Because at first it was just
Both guys.
14, and then now it got last I saw or heard it got up.
Oh,
to
so
21,
both
so
of them
I don't
couldn't
know.
graduate. So both couldn't graduate. So one decided to kill Asians in California, and the other one, so they couldn't graduate. So they decided to kill people. Is that the story I'm getting?
I don't think that was the only thing she was saying. As
No,
far
I'm trying to understand. Is that is that the same? Is it the same?
that's what the school when you said about the school when he made the threat at the school and
But she
it was-
said both guys couldn't graduate.
right. But I'm saying up top earlier when you first said about the school, she said that he couldn't graduate. That was
okay.
what the school did, was that they didn't allow him to graduate because that's when she put on there that he couldn't. Then she said both of them didn't. So I don't know what the other guy, the guy with that did the elementary school. I don't know
The 19
what his
and the
thing-
8, the 19 and the 18.
Yeah, the two kids
The
from
two
the
kids.
that I don't know what the guy from that killed that shot his grandmother. Excuse me, she's still alive. That shot the grandmother. Uh, and the school that I don't know what all his issues were with the school itself, like what he got in trouble with at school. But I think that's what she was saying was that he couldn't graduate, so he had some issues at school too.
Oh,
But the
okay.
fact that he went to, because from my understanding, excuse me, the way that it played out was that he shot the grandmother in the face. He was on the run from police. He had a shootout with, or has the exchange of gunfire with Border Patrol. And there was some other.
Wait, which one is this one?
The guy with the Uvalde. That he had
Wow.
he had a shootout with Border Patrol at some point, or a couple of officers. I'm sure it wasn't a whole slew of them because of the fact he got away initially and ended up crashing the car, and he took and ran into the school. So when he ran into the school was when he got into one classroom, and all of those people were in that one classroom. All the kids and the teachers.
All the kids and the teachers.
But it ended up being another, if I'm not mistaken, it ended up being another adult. And then two officers out of that got shot. So as far as when I don't know if it was two officers from when they entered the school, that part I didn't hear, or if it was two officers from initially from before he went into the school that had got shot. But they didn't have life-threatening injuries. So on that part, I'm not quite sure about.
She said he was there for 40 minutes.
Yeah, so they were Um, so at some point or whatever, eventually and that's been a whole talking issue about what was going on with that long wait before they went into the school. Um, but that eventually the little kid got killed by the officers.
Mm.
But as far as what his whole ordeal was, I don't know, because apparently they said for a couple of years, I heard somewhere, they read somewhere that uh a couple of years ago he was already talking like that. He was already talking about shooting and killing and all that stuff for a couple of years already. And
I
then
wonder
he
how
just
did
went on ahead
the but she said I wonder how did the feds get involved?
because they said out there because of that area,
Mm.
that because even it was somebody's video that recorded that was outside. There were one of the parents that was trying to get in and wanted to get in, but they had them blocked off and would let them go in. There was several. Just looking at the video, I saw it was at least three different agencies out there,
Oh
three different
wow.
police departments out there, and there's one guy that works with me. He said that in those little areas, that they're so small of towns
Mhm.
that even an article that I read is like that their closest police department or 911 center that they dispatch for 17 different agencies. So it's all little they're all little rural towns and little areas that you blink, I guess you probably out of it, you're in a whole nother town. So all of those areas are so small that they're right there together. So you had all these different police departments that ended up uh joining in on the issue. I mean on the when the incident came up. I
Yeah.
couldn't get my word
Yeah.
out.
No. 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 Yeah.
That's why it was so many different agencies, was
Okay.
because of the way that how small that town is, that you're bordered by so many different uh police departments. Fubu.
Oh, he
Okay,
said.
see,
She said. Yeah, he put out a threat on the app called Fudo days before it happened.
yeah, parents got arrested outside because they wanted to go in. They wouldn't let them go in.
It's
Um,
close to the border drugs court.
yeah,
Portugal. It is
yeah. They said the town was
close to what? Canadian border?
it was 86 miles. Not
I mean,
Canadian.
not Canadian, but I said it wrong. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the Buffalo shootout. I'm sorry, y'all.
No,
You talking about down near Texas, right?
for Uvalde.
Uvalde, right?
That it was 86 miles outside of 86 miles. Was 86 miles outside of, was it San Antonio? It wasn't San Antonio. It was 86 miles outside of some, so I can't think of where they said it is in relation to. But yeah, it was, that's why Border Patrol was involved because of how
Oh,
close
how
it was.
close it was.
Excuse me.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so let's go back because I know Sarah was saying about the races against Asians, that gun violence. So, do anybody know what happened with that? Was that the same thing? And the DEA, FBI, and BP was from SA. Oh, they was from San Antonio. Um, do anybody know what stirred that guy up, or anybody heard anything? Is it anything online?
For the
The one Sarah said that it was racist against Asians or something like that. With the shooting at the church, that was at the church, right? In California, I believe. Uh, Border Patrol identified the police department's request to remain outside and went in. Luckily, because they ended up neutralizing them. Dang, so it took the border. It's dang. So the local police really didn't do nothing, honestly.
that's the thing, is because of how small that town
That
is.
town
It
is
was
they had
probably
to
another agency that polices for that town.
Got you.
So like, okay, for example, like, okay, they might have had a sheriff's office, but that sheriff's office might cover 3 or 4 towns.
Towns, so they might have took them too long. Okay, that makes sense. So
I was trying to find the one from California.
local police is now being investigated. Oh, she just said they being investigated by the FBI. Now, if the local police has something to do with it,
Was it this
then
one?
that'll be straight evil. But I ain't gonna say that. Not saying that. Not saying that at all, but they've been investigated. I know y'all. I know that y'all. I'm learning that when
Yeah, that was
we
yeah,
got
that
a
was. I'm
deadly
sorry, I
shooting
found
at
the one
California church, uh, a
against
hate incident against what? Tawana, how you say that? I'm not gonna butcher that name.
Taiwanese
Taiwanese
community.
community. Wow. What? What?
Yeah, California church
Authorities
congregation
said Monday.
hogtied suspect after deadly shooting. Which is a California church was politically motivated hate incident against the Taiwanese community. At least one person was killed and 5 people were injured when the shooter opened fire Sunday afternoon at the Geneva Presbyterian Church in Laguna Woods, which was hosting a Taiwanese congregation.
So they was just born in church at that moment. Yeah, so somebody.
Yeah, they just had their event there and somebody opened fire on the church. And he was, wait a minute, the suspect was David Chow or Cho. So it was booked on affiliate. Okay.
Oh, and just FYI, y'all, if y'all see that I disagree with something, or if I say that I'm not gonna say that, there is a reason why I do that. When you kind of get more viewers, and when you get things, and when you on YouTube, when you do things or whatever, you have to be careful what you say and what you do or whatever, or you can get cut, snapped, snip, things of that nature. So please don't hold me accountable for it. I know y'all do it in the comments, straight, but I still have to watch stuff or whatever. It's just the rules and regulations. So I just have to make sure I respect the rules and everything to follow as I'm going deeper and growing the channel in different networks and everything. So I hope y'all understand that and everything. Nothing personal, okay? Nothing personal, but y'all do, and I appreciate y'all being truthful and like with the gun laws and everything. Thank you, Auntie. I appreciate y'all being honest with the gun laws and everything, but for me, I know that my channel, which they do know that I do preach the gospel, and they do know that I do encourage people. Uh, but I still have to be careful and watch, what I say, and I just have to make sure I keep it somewhat neutral, in a way or whatnot. But I because I do agree that laws do need to be put in place. But I'm not gonna sit up here and choose a side and say who need to do what. I'm gonna stay away from that. But I do agree that laws do need to be put in place and everything. So, uh, but yeah, it's all good. But we was talking about the church thing here and everything, and
So even the shooter was a Chinese immigrant.
the shooter, that's who he was.
It said the shooter was a Chinese immigrant that targeted the church in the isolated incident because of frustration over political disagreements between China and Taiwan.
And this is from U.S. Today.
USA Today.
USA Today. This is from USA Today that we getting this information from. So wow, that was, man. He must have felt some type of way. See, that was something going on in his heart. Man, he had something against his own people. God dang. Well, that's really sad. But all of it is sad. But
Well, it's not necessarily against his own people, but because he was Chinese, so he was an immigrant from China, and the people that he killed were people from Taiwan that was holding an event at their church.
Oh,
So that's why they said it was a hate crime, politically driven hate crime, because he was irritated over whatever the issue is between China and Taiwan.
So they got issues now. And so he went and took it out on them at the church.
Then because he got whatever his issue was with whatever was going on or whatever is going on between those two countries, that he purposely targeted Taiwanese people.
How you can tell the difference? Not trying to be funny. Wow, that's, I guess.
Yeah,
That's not wow. Okay. Um.
I guess that you just they can tell it more easier
Yeah.
for them, just like how we can tell
That we're
with
different from Africans or
yeah.
somebody from Zimbabwe. I get it. Uh.
Yeah, it's
Hey man, I
Zimbabwe.
love Zimbabwe. I love it. Yes, Zimbabwe.
Talk about Zimbabwe.
People. I met a couple of people from Zimbabwe at U of H. I was so happy, boy. I was like, hey, la, la, la. I'm sorry, y'all. But but no, no, I love my Zimbabwe people. What you talking about? How is that racist? I love my Zimbabwe
She
people.
not talking about that.
Oh,
She talking about the dude that did the shooting.
oh yeah. China wants to own Taiwan and Japan. Really? Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Knock it down stuff.
But yeah, man, I love my Zimbabwe people, man. Yeah, I talked to a lot of them, man, over there. It's you would be surprised how many of them you have that used to live from over there to come over here to go to school, man. It's a lot. It's a lot, man. They love coming to school here, and they just a lot of them just like, man, they just be thankful they be in America.
Oh, she's talking about you saying how can they tell the difference? What's racist?
Huh? No, seriously, no. Now, how's it?
It's depending on how you take it, but I know you didn't mean it.
I didn't mean it like
you
that.
Didn't.
No, I mean
mean.
seriously. Like, how can you you say, "Oh, I'm gonna come in with a gun and say, oh, I know you from Taiwan, but wait, you look like you Chinese, so I'm not gonna shoot you, but I'm gonna shoot you." Like, bruh, no, like that's not.
Every time we all looking like.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, but I mean, you can tell, like, I would say you could tell from an African American from an African that's from what let me I'm sorry. I wouldn't know, but I was just saying, like, I wasn't meaning like, oh, I mean, y'all would get me in trouble. I wasn't trying to say.
I know what you meant.
Yeah, I was trying to say,
how you just gonna single out.
You going in the church hot.
Because but that's true, because how you gonna
how you gonna tell to say, hey, you from Taiwan, and then I'm gonna kill you. But
that's just like you can't say that, okay, if you go to Jamaica or somewhere and you see somebody that's white, how you gonna tell them they're not from Jamaica? Or how you don't know if Jamaica, just because they might not look like they should be there, I might not have an accent. You can't tell them if they from there or not.
It's true, man.
So yeah, it's I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
as far as how you gonna just be able to, you just automatically gonna say that these people.
See, I don't even know
probably
that.
Just assume.
I didn't even know because I didn't know Japanese people are taller.
Yeah, I get it because you mean in future, how you even just gonna say just based off of certain things, but I get it.
Yeah, I'm just saying you going in there heated, and it's not like he's looking for people from Thailand. Thailand has a different skin color; they're darker. You know what I'm saying? No, he's looking for people from Taiwan.
I think he probably
he
probably just picked that place just because he knew it was that type of just because he knew it was something in there. Now he only killed dog, I closed it. Only one person only one person actually got killed.
You too. I was not doing that. I'm not saying that.
But I think he probably just targeted them just because he knew that it was going to be those type of people there.
Oh yeah,
he targeted that church because he knew those type of people were there. So like you said, how is he going to just straight up just say that every single person in there is Taiwanese?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you?
And that's why he can't say unless you ask them. Let me see your birth certificate. Where you from? You can't say who your parents and them and trying to do a DNA test. You couldn't be able to just say that straight up that every single person in there was. You don't know. Then it could have been every single person was, but still,
right.
You just don't. You don't know.
You can't. I'm like, how in the world? Like, bro, that don't make sense. Like, I don't. I don't know, man, but nah, I still don't understand. I mean, dude, I guess I don't know. That to me is, I mean, I don't know. Just like Chris Tucker say, y'all look the same, man. But boy, Chris Tucker funny. Now. But no, so but yeah, like Buffalo, New York. Yeah, both of that one was pretty bad. Yeah, that one. Yeah, when that happened, man, I was like, dude, really? But this was the thing that most. I don't know if people are gonna hate when I say this, and I don't care. But our 10, some black families died. I heard about it on the news, but then it's almost like it got overlooked. Almost.
Come on, the grocery store.
Yeah. And I just kind of wish that our people would have kind of marched for that cause, because that's not the first time it happened. Just like the people that got shut up at the church. I mean, those black family, man, they lost their lives, and their neighborhood will never be the same. I mean, you got this guy. I think he died, right? Or did they put him in? He's the one that got put in handcuffs.
Yeah.
So he's still alive. So, because I got mad that day. Because I was like, man, how come he's still alive and blah, blah, blah. I said, you know what? Just let the law handle it. And I just, it's, I don't know. I'm going to leave it alone for right now. But I tell you what, though, when something come about, and if I see a certain group of people come out again, that's the first thing I'm gonna say, man. Because I mean, them people need support, man. I mean, they lost loved ones and stuff, and that clown went in there and did that, man. He was racist. He literally said he went in there and wanted to kill black people, bro. I'm like, man, come on, dude. And I think that he is a part of an organization. And I don't care what nobody says. Because I just believe that
it's groups out there somewhere, some type of way, in whatever social media type platform or app or whatever, that you gonna find a group of people that think like you.
Oh yeah,
or that's in that same mindset I'm sure as you.
They told him to go drive all the way. He don't even live in the area. He drove all the way out there and did that. He specifically picked that area, bro. And of course, his homeboys ain't gonna say nothing.
Right, which 9 times out of 10 probably meant that I bet you he got that information about that store being heavily populated with black people. He got it from somewhere. And go kill somebody told him, because otherwise, he lived a few hours away. So yeah, it's always something. It's more to it than what we see. It
was overlooked too fast, bro. It was overlooked too fast. That's why I was like, nah, fam, y'all okay, all right. You want to kill our black people? All right, sir. All right. So I mean, it's. I know it's more to that story, and I know it's more. I know it's deeper than what people don't want to talk about it, and people don't want to talk about it. People don't want to look into it. People don't want to say nothing about it. But it's true, man. I mean, that hate, that racial hate, it still exists. It's still out there. So some people out here don't like us living out here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and like I know some certain areas where my wife used to work at when she worked for Burks, and people used to look at her crazy out there in Cleveland. So, I mean, dude, I'm just saying, it's this, I'm just the racism stuff, man. It ain't just because, and I know racism came out when Trump was in office, but just because this dude in office don't mean racism went away. It's still there, And that's why I tell people, when this dude pulled his stunt, man, them idiots still out there and they still hate black people. And, unfortunately, man, we got to deal with that spiritual hate until the coming of Christ. And, people just don't understand, man. We got the same red blood, the same organs. It's just our skin color different. And so, okay. So, but anyway, we've been past our time. We are past our time, and I know we had some people get on and get off, whatnot. But I hope and pray that you guys enjoyed this episode. I should have called it the cause of gun violence, because that's what we want to get into the cause of it. But I do just I do agree that there do need to be laws in place. We do need to be laws do need to be put in place. Did you notice that the officers were not fearful about their life? They were about to excel the situation. It is just me. When a white person kills someone, the news don't show the man. Dog, I'm trying, bro. You've been trying to make me go there. I know. I've seen a lot of stuff that was wrong about that, but we gonna hit on that another one. I'm gonna make sure that's a legit episode. We're gonna put it on there so that way we'll make sure we talking about it or whatnot. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in and everything. We will be live next Friday. Hopefully, praying to God I don't have no hernia issues. I'm not hurting. I appreciate everybody who was on the show and your comments. I appreciate it. I thank you guys for putting your views out. Thank you guys and everything. I really appreciate it. But it's been a blessing. It's been an honor. And we gotta be out. But it's really been great. And just remember that God is always with us. And with him, hey, all things are possible. And I love y'all. And I appreciate y'all for y'all support. Remember, subscribe, like, and share. Remember, if you want to listen to a previous episode, I do have previous episodes on Anchor.com. I have an episode on there about our Black Kings, our young Black Kings on there. If you ever want to look at that, Black and White. That was a real good episode. That was when I was doing podcasting by myself. But that was on Anchor.com a long time ago. So if you guys want to get on in on that season 1, check us out. But next week, we're gonna be here next Friday. And I'm going to talk about fathers, since I won't be here for Father's Day. So if y'all don't mind, we're going to talk about fathers and how us as men can be better fathers to our children, dealing with this, since we were already talking about our areas and our communities. Let's dig deeper into this.
You might need to have a guest. I'm serious.
Yeah, I might have to.
Special guest.
Maybe.
I can
don't
use
know.
my seat for a moment.
No. But we'll see what happen. If we can, because it's like I said, it's needed. And like this conversation right here is needed. Hopefully we can get deeper into this conversation. Y'all let me know on the Facebook page on TJ's 100% Real Talk if you would like to continue about what can we do to better ourselves as people and gun violence on discussion. Just, for the discussion, but let us know on the Facebook page and then we can talk about it. So I appreciate you guys. Love y'all. Until we meet again. Peace. Thank y'all for tuning in on Saturday night too. Peace.